Well, hi everybody, it's another Conversations With, and I am delighted to have with me today my dear friend Richard Morco. And Richard, of course, is a writer and writes and lives in Sturbridge and writes for the Town and Country Gazette. Is that what it is?
Sturbridge Times Town and Country Living Magazine.
Living Magazine.
And I live up in the holy town of West Brookfield.
West Brookfield, that's right up on the Long Hill.
On the Long Hill.
On the Long Hill. Well, Richard, I want to talk today about a couple of subjects, and I'm sure you've got a few. The first one I want to talk about is investigations. We have now a Congress in the United States who is the investigatory Congress.
Oh, yeah.
We had one of the recognized top-notch government officials of all time, the Honorable Robert Mueller, did a 22-month, $25 million study with in excess of 300 pages. And his conclusion was that there was no collusion, but that the president was not exonerated. He turned it over to the Attorney General, and he and Attorney General Barr and Rod Rosenstein read it over the weekend, and they came up 2 days later or 1 day later with a 4-page synopsis saying that, in fact, the president was exonerated and that there was no collusion. So now the Congress is going to have an investigation to investigate the investigation. They want to investigate Mueller, and they want to investigate Barr and Rosenstein. And rightfully so, methinks. After all, we got two different conclusions. Now, there are those who think because of Mueller's dictate, he couldn't charge the president with anything because it didn't allow him to. And that's why he said the president is not exonerated. However, the Attorney General and Rosenstein read it differently, and they made a decision that he is exonerated. And of course, the president has already exonerated himself, period. But we're having now that's not the only investigation. We're now going to have a new investigation to investigate climate change, because we have one group who says there's no such thing. We have another group who says it's obviously real. And we're going to have an investigation. So Congress is going to spend the next 2 years investigating. And consequently, the American people get nothing done.
Well, it reminds me of the old New Hampshire folk tale. The guy comes into a small town and says, "Excuse me, you people here have a criminal lawyer in town." Man says to him, "We think we do, but we ain't been able to prove it yet." So, you know, if you Joseph Stalin's head security guy, head of the NKVD, said, "Do you want to get something on somebody? Show me the man, I'll show you the crime."
Yeah.
We can get something on anybody.
Yeah, you can.
Other than you and myself.
Well, of course.
Yeah. And our producer here. The guy's a saint.
Yeah.
Except for those few incidents.
Yeah.
Anyway, the best I can say for the president is he's no Joe Biden. I'm sorry, that was terrible. Another 30 days in purgatory.
Well,
yeah.
I'm always reminded of one of the greatest line of all the debates, and they never were really debates, but of all the debates we had was the senator from Texas, who was Michael Dukakis' running mate, and the vice president of the United States, who was named Quink. What was his name?
Dan Quayle.
Dan Quayle, and I forget the senator. Senator.
I know who you're talking about.
From Texas. Senator from Texas.
We might forget his name, Roy Benson.
Roy Benson.
But if we forget, we may forget his name, but we are never going to forget what he said.
Senator Benson.
We'll never forget what he said.
Senator Vice President Quayle talks about how he's like Jack Kennedy, and Benson waits and says, "Mr. Vice President, I knew Jack Kennedy, and you're no Jack Kennedy."
And
over.
Now, do you remember what Quayle said right after he said that?
No.
He said, "Senator, that was uncalled for." You know what? Quayle was right, but it didn't matter.
It didn't matter, yeah.
It didn't matter. It was like a pitcher, a minor league pitcher threw a nice high-hanging slow ball to Ted Williams, and Ted just, and then
Missed it.
boom! No,
Yeah.
Ted was.
Oh, you know.
And it was just one of the great moments.
Oh, yeah, it was. It truly was. But the point is, you know, here we go again with the funniest one of all was the Democrats are talking about some kind of a bill, and they're going to pass it. And somebody went to McConnell. It's the first time I ever saw McConnell give a straight answer. And it was a bill that Trump wanted. He wanted it out too. Trump wanted it out. And McConnell says, we're not going to take up that bill, period. And he said, just like that, we're not going to take up that bill. I almost fell over, because he never does that.
Yep.
But he said, we're not going to take up that bill. And that's that. Well, so all we're going to do now is have investigation. Now they want to investigate Schiff, or Sniff, whatever his name is, who's the chairman of the House Judiciary Committee, because they think he leaked out information on some report. You know, so now they're going to investigate him. They want him to resign. I mean, it's nothing but hysterics.
Well, generally, I'm not against gridlock because I go along with, it was either Mark Twain or Lincoln or somebody who said, no man's liberty or property is safe while the legislature's in session.
And he's right.
Yeah, so if they just investigate, and never get anything done, usually that could be a good thing.
Well, you know, I even met a person recently, a nice lady, who was telling me a story that they were talking about the Trump tax cut.
Yeah.
And she said, the last 7 years, I've got between $1,500 and $2,200 back every year. And I know that I take a little extra in taxes because I enjoy getting that check. And I know the government has my money for a year free. I got it all. But it's nice to get the check in March because it pays my Christmas bills. That's what I use it for. She said, I got a call from my tax person this year, and I made the same amount of money I made last year, and I got $1,800 back. This year I have to pay $1,000. She said, I am beside myself. What happened to the middle class tax cut? She said that Trump was trumping. She said, I got to pay. One of my best friends had to pay $2,200. Another one had to pay $700. I haven't got mine yet. I don't know. I'll wait to see what I have to pay. But I'm assuming I'm going to have to get nicked if that's what's going on.
Probably. Well, no, your sources of income are not wages, are they?
Yeah, oh yeah, I get paid for the town.
Oh, you get paid for the town. Okay.
So there's wage, but I get Social Security.
Yeah.
You know, and I have a pension. I have my own investment money that I have to take every year, and so. But it doesn't matter. You know, the fact is, there it goes. Once again, everybody's going to get this wonderful tax cut, and they're not getting them. And it's the middle class that's taking the hit, the big hit.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not the upper end who got the money.
There is the other thing is, this tax return was also put in to punish Massachusetts and New York and other high tax states that didn't vote for.
Oh yeah.
For your man, for Trump. Yeah. So it is sour, a little bit on our part.
Yeah.
Sour grapes.
Yeah.
And
but it is. Now, the other thing I want to talk about is, and I'm going to make a major, you know my Dick Vaughan and government announcements. Here we go with another one. Ladies and gentlemen, we have gun control in America. It is real. We have it now, and you need to accept it. So, okay, big mouth, tell us what it is. Let me tell you what it is. We have a situation where a police officer pulls a guy over for speeding, walks up to the window of the car, politely asks for his license and registration. The fella pulls out a gun and shoots the cop. Gun control. We have a bunch of people in Pittsburgh, some nice Jewish folks who went to the synagogue on a Saturday. Fella doesn't like the fact that they went in there praying. He marches in, kills 50 of them. Gun control. We have it. Kid runs down an alley, running away from the cops. Cops pulls out his gun, shoots the kid. Got him. We've got it. Gun control. Cop in Yarmouth gets a call at domestic violence. Guy's beating up his girlfriend or his wife. He goes down, knocks on the door to see what's going on. He's got his little dog with him, his service dog. Guy opens the door, shoots the cop and the dog. Bullet across the street. It's a lady standing across the street. Takes her down. Gun control. Little church down in Mississippi. Bunch of people having a gospel singing Sunday afternoon. Guy doesn't like that. Walks in and cleans them out. 48 of them. We have 5 schools. Little one down in Newtown, Connecticut. Kids going to school, teachers teaching them. Beautiful day in Connecticut. Some kid doesn't like that. Marches in, shoots, kills 20 kids and 6 teachers. Colorado, same thing. Parkland, Florida, marches in, cleans house. 17, 18 dead. Gun control. Guy goes to the movies. Suddenly realizes there's other people there for the screening. Doesn't like the fact that he's not alone watching the movie. Stands up and shoots 10 people. Gun control. City of Boston, every morning on the 4:30 news. 2 people shot. 2 people shot. Different street. I'll grant that. Different location. Mattapan, Roxbury, doesn't matter. They move around. But every morning, gun control. And the saddest one of all, a little girl, 5 years old, 6 years old, going to the convenience store with Nana, is walking back home. Guy drives by in a car to shoot somebody he doesn't like, misses that guy, and hits the little kid. Gun control. The fact of the matter is, guns are controlling America. We do have gun control. The problem is we're not doing a thing about it. And that's my message for today. And if you don't think that's true, you think about what I just said. And that's just scratching the surface, okay? I forget the numbers of how many every single day are killed by guns. But we have gun control.
We do. From what you're saying, I would say when you say control America, statistically, I hate to say this because you know you've heard the Mark Twain thing, what damn lies, and statistics. Statistically, we don't have as much as we think we do. We just hear about it a lot.
Oh, no question. Oh, when you figure we have 386 million people, and there's still 80 million alive. Yeah, we're
now,
all right.
Everybody else protect the police.
Yeah.
Do you know what? For many years of my life, I had jobs which were far more dangerous than police, and if I told you what they were, you wouldn't believe it.
Right.
Police are low down on the number of people who die on the job or killed on the job.
Oh, no question.
So
they're protected.
They're protected. They protect themselves, and the thing is, they go in. What was it? A guy in that case, Roger Stone.
Yeah.
He said they had more people taking me down than Bin Laden. They protect. They make sure they constitutionally they should not be doing that. They should not have dozens. They should have somebody go up and knock on the door for Roger Stone and say, "We have a warrant for your arrest." Roger resists, shoot him.
Yeah.
But we don't.
No.
It's a little skewed. Now I'm reviewing for this month, Tell Your Children. It's a book about, we've legalized marijuana. The guy thought it was not he thought marijuana himself was harmless. His wife is a forensic psychiatrist.
Yep.
She said they're all the people who do all these shootings, just about, are on marijuana. Not opioids, not cocaine. They're on no. The producer is saying,
I'd love to see that spectrum.
you have to get the book. I have the book. If you promise to read it after I have written the review, and I basically have the review done, I just have to edit it. The fellow made a compelling case. Everywhere where they've legalized marijuana, rates of murders, and also car accidents, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Rates of murders and everything, it goes up. It goes up. Now, his wife investigates, because she's a forensic psychiatrist in New York State. Anytime something like that happens where somebody is killed, She has to look at it. She said they are all on marijuana.
Oh, I buy
And
it.
the ones that you talk about, you know, the Sandy Hook, I suspect that, wasn't he on that kid on some kind of
He was
drug?
on Ritalin.
Ritalin or
Yeah,
everything.
all kind of medications, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And if we want to medicate ourselves,
yeah,
well, yeah, we probably should, nobody should have a gun.
yeah.
Or if you have a gun, or if you get a gun, you should be able to prove you are on. Your talk screen
Yeah,
should be as good as Mother Teresa's.
right,
Rest her soul.
right. Yeah. So now, what do you have to cover? We have some things you wanted to chat about.
Oh, I would love to get back to the federal government. I think that the Mueller thing, the big tragedy of that, first of all, you had the press making absolute fools of themselves, the media. The cable media was sure that
There was a bomb,
there was a bomb. And
and they were devastated when it wasn't.
right. And Professor Stephen Cohen, who is a Russian expert, has said what is the big tragedy of the whole Russiagate thing is? We've had a couple of years now where we could have gone to get along with Russia, but we made Trump confront Russia over everything so that he would look like a wimp. Everybody was, what was it? That disgusting Stephen Colbert said Trump was something, you know, he was performing constantly an unnatural act on Putin.
Yeah.
That's swinish and
Well,
disgusting to him.
but you got to understand. Look, I don't watch television at all. I watch the news and I'll watch a baseball game. I watch the Patriots certainly, but that's the extent of my viewing.
Good for you.
And the reason is, and I've said this. I was talking to a terrific person, young lady who's an RN last night. She has 4 kids, and we were talking, and I said, look, you watch the Patriots game, you watch the news, and they stop for a break, and ABC or NBC runs a promo for a program that night, and it's got a guy ripping off a girl's dress, feeling her up, hugging her, grabbing her, you know, basically attacking her. And the next one is this show, and it's somebody shooting somebody, cars blowing up, buildings getting ravaged, big explosions, people shooting each other. Tonight on NBC. And then the kids are cuckoo, and nobody can understand why. They're watching those things. They're running them in the middle of football games, running them in the middle of the day. What do you think the kids think? It's okay to attack a woman? It's okay to grab a girl and rip her clothes off because they're doing it on TV, Mom. Okay? And we can't understand it. So it's right there.
Where did Joe Biden get the idea you could do that?
I don't know.
Okay, I'm with kids.
Can I tell you something? I'm a hugger. My family grew up hugging. All my family. My mother was one of 13 kids. I was a hugger. Okay? Here's the problem. You now have to say to a woman or a girl or a person, is it okay if I give you a hug? Because if you can't just walk up and hug them, because you could be in deep trouble. And that's what it's come to in this country. You can't do it without asking permission.
Dick,
At least I feel that way.
Dick, you and I are going to make a fortune out of this. Now, there's opportunity in everything. You and I are going to get rich on this. And if Drew treats us right, we'll let him in on this too.
Yeah.
We're going to have T-shirts. Because we can't be subtle in this country.
No.
You either have the T-shirt that says, don't hug me, or you can hug me. And everybody wears either a hug me,
Yeah.
and we'll sell it. We got, we're copywriting this.
Yeah.
This is, we have copyrighted this.
Okay to hug me.
Okay to hug me. I'm okay. I am open for hugs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you ever say that there was a guy wearing one of those free hugs T-shirts? And I said to him, I didn't know he was out.
Yeah.
Free hug.
Yeah.
Hug me too.
But no, it's I guess as you mature, and I'm down that road.
I got a few years to go.
Yeah, you're behind me. Yeah. But anyway, I guess as you mature, you begin to look at things, and I look back at my life, and I remember the 50s and 60s and 70s with great joy and great affection. We loved each other. We got along with each other. I was telling someone, when I grew up in Malden and graduated from high school, we were thick as thieves, cared about each other, we loved each other. If you did something wrong, Richard, by the time you got home, your father already knew, because one of the neighbors saw it, or one of the family friends saw it and called him up, said, Happy, Dick was mouthing off at the square, you know, and I'd get home and I'd have to explain it, you know, and if not, there'd be a knuckle sandwich waiting for me.
I know.
And we had in Malden, when I grew up, we had a curfew at 9 o'clock. The fire whistle blew. And if you were under 18, you had to be off the street. And Tommy was the cop in the square. He knew everybody by name. He was a former football player, big tough guy, but a great guy, good guy. And he'd walk around, he'd say, Vaughan, you live up in Oak Grove. You better get going. You got about a 10-minute walk to get home. If you don't go, I'll bring you home in the car. And you know what's going to happen to you if I bring you home in that car with the blue light on, you know? And he'd put the light on even though he didn't need to, you know, so your father'd be waiting for you, you know? And violated the curfew law, Mr. Vaughan. That's all you needed. And you went home. You did what he told you. And you loved him and respected him. And we got along. Like, for instance, the Edgeworth kids, they were all the Italian kids. We were the Irish kids. We lived up in Hop Heaven. And it was called Hop Heaven. Where you going? I'm going up to Hop tonight. That's where we hang out in Oak Grove Square. We had our own little square. But the big one was Malden Square, where we all got together. But if the kids from Medford came over, or Somerville, and picked something down in Edgeworth with the Italians, one phone call, everybody's in the cars and off we go. And man, we were the enforcers, you know. We came in and that was the end of that one. They ran back to Somerville real quick. But that's how we grew up. With love, there was no drugs. You didn't dare touch one of your father's beers in that refrigerator. You had your arm broken. And you know, you might have got a little sip of wine at Thanksgiving dinner if you were lucky, you know. And so it was a different world. And today it's scary. It comes down to two words: rationalization and entitlement. We can rationalize everything, including murder, and we end up walking around, they're entitled. What? I worked since I was 15 years old. Had a job all my life, you know? And I say, wow, what have we come to? You know, but you get back to Mueller and Trump. I mean, what did it really prove in the end?
Nothing. It was
nothing.
It was just they didn't want Trump as president. They didn't want Trump as president. And he hasn't really kept many of his promises. He may not get elected next time.
Well, you know, the thing is, did you hear the latest one? Mar-a-Lago, he was there for the weekend. And some lady from China walked right in, gave her name, had 3 different passports, walked into Mar-a-Lago, got by our Secret Service, got by Trump's own Secret Service, got into the main restaurant, was walking around, went up to the front desk, and the front desk lady said, well, who are you? Which her name was Huang, Z-U-A-N-G. Well, there was a gentleman who belongs to the country club by that name. And the woman said, oh, okay. And they let her in. And a little while later, she went back. There was a different woman at the desk. She said, can I help you? And she said, what are you doing here? Well, why are you here? And she says, oh, well, I'm here for the Chinese-American meeting on Breakthrough Environment and economics. And the woman knew that there was no such meeting that night because she was the event planner.
Yeah.
And just happened to know that there was no meeting. And she didn't say anything, but she buzzed security. And the security called her back And she said, I need you at the front desk. And then Trump's security calls. She was there for 3 days, in the hotel for 3 days. Trump in and out. And finally the Secret Service arrested her, and she had 3 different passports and 3 different names. She had 6 different American identification cards. I mean, they still don't know who she is. They don't know what her real name is. They've got her locked up. They're trying to, figure out who she is and what she was doing there. But there's a classic example. With all the money we spend for security, she walks right in.
It's amazing.
And she had a thing. I don't know what they are. A computer thing.
Drive? She had a thumb drive.
A thumb drive.
Just like what I gave you.
That was loaded with viruses. And she was going to do the computer. That's what they think she was going to do, was stick them in the computers at Mar-a-Lago.
No, that really...
She had a thumb drive that was loaded with viruses, malware.
Yeah, that sounds a little weird, because if she were representative of an intelligence group, she wouldn't have had 3 passports. It would have been really reasonable. So what she was doing...
Well, that's what they're trying to figure out.
She was probably looking to figure out her own identity.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's what's going on. I mean, it's bizarre. It's bizarre.
It is. It is.
When you think about it. I mean, the world we live in today, Richard, is just scary, scary, scary.
It is.
And the sadness is, as we've shared many times, our government's corrupt. It's run by corrupt people who live off the fat of the land, who steal everything they can steal, take everything they can take.
Oh yeah.
And then don't pass laws, don't do anything, but investigate.
Well, look at the guy Nadler. When Clinton was investigated, and they came out, they finished the investigation, he did not want that released.
No.
Now he says, oh, it's holy and sacred that we release it. No, I'm for releasing it all.
Oh, yeah.
Because we paid for it.
We paid for it. I want to see it.
I want to see it.
What does it really say?
I want to see everything
If
the
we
government
paid
does.
$25 million, did he do a good job or didn't
Yeah.
he? What's he really got?
And I expect the Democrats will go through this and make,
Sooner or later, someone's going to get it unredacted.
Yeah.
It's only a matter of time. Someone will get it. And when they get it, out it'll come. It'll be Fox News or CNN, or somebody will have stolen it from somebody,
I just wish the Congress was more insistent in seeing the 9/11 investigation findings released. I would much rather see those.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever you want. Okay, maybe Trump's a corrupt guy. Anybody who think, all they're getting him on is, he said, let's get along with Russia. What is wrong with that?
Nothing. We need to get along with people.
Yeah.
The world needs to get along with each other.
Yeah.
The problem we got is we're killing each other, border to border. Countries are fighting with each other. They're annihilating populations of people, in what's it, apartheid? That we're destroying populations of people. Countries can't get along with each other, and we're killing each other, and we're starving kids. Look at these little kids.
At least we're going to start a war against a country that's closer to us now, in Venezuela.
Oh,
At
yeah.
least that's closer to us.
Oh yeah.
Granted, we're only going in there because it's oil.
Yeah, and Russia's in there.
Well, Russia, if we're in Ukraine, Russia says, sauce for the goose,
Yeah.
sauce for the gander.
And him telling Russia to get out.
Yeah.
Putin says, I'll do what I want.
Yeah.
Who are you to tell me to get out?
Yeah.
And so, they already shipped all the gold out.
Yeah.
Russia's already got that. They took that back to Russia. Trump said, bring it back. They didn't bring it back.
Yeah.
So the president's got all the gold anyway.
Yeah.
So he's all set. Gave it to Russia. Well, we're at the end of another show, Richard. How about that?
Oh, and in a new venue.
And a new venue. Oh, yeah. New venue.
And we've got a table between us now.
Yeah.
And it's more intimate.
Well, it gives us a chance to begin an investigation.
It's about time.
Yeah, it's about time. We investigated Richard and Richard.
There you go.
And we'll expose those two clowns.
And if anybody needs to be exposed.
It's us. Okay, there you have it,
Okay?
folks.
We're giving the world a hug here.
There you go. Big hug for the world. That's another Conversations With.